What is up, everybody? Turbo First TV here today, and we're gonna talk about Sony fanboys who just can't grasp the concept that not everybody enjoys PlayStation as much as they do. It is not everybody's preferred console. Some people like the Xbox console more than PlayStation. Big shocker, I guess, for a lot of you Sony fanboys out there, but this video was started because of that whole Xbox tax situation, and that's how this post was made. Apparently somebody asked, how would you explain the topic for Xbox tax to a person who was a non-gamer? Go. And then this lady responded with this nonsense saying, when your mom spends years saying you sing better than Beyonce, so you go to America's Got Talent and think you're so amazing, but get voted off for being crap, and then your mom reassures you that you are the best, it's the judges and audiences and everyone else being unfair. That is the Xbox tax. So she's pretty much saying that, hey, Xbox games are not great, while PlayStation games are great, and the people who believe the Xbox tax just don't believe that Xbox games are great. When it's like, really? Somebody posted a chart of the different games Xbox has coming up. All these highly rated games, all these highly anticipated games, only on Xbox or Xbox ecosystem. You can't get these on PlayStation. Halo Infinite from 343. There is no equivalent of Halo Infinite on PlayStation. So it just boggles the mind when people say that, PlayStation just has these amazing games, but they don't have anything close to Halo. Halo is still a dominant force in the industry. I don't care how much people try to trash it, Halo was still amazing. I still had a great time playing Halo Infinite. And there's no equivalent on PlayStation. Completely mops the floor with what PlayStation is Halo killer, so to say, like the kill zones, the resistances, the franchise they made the so-called be the Halo killers, which are no longer in existence. Yeah, I'm gonna think that this is some talent right here that PlayStation can't replicate. Let's see. We got Compulsion with Soul South of the Midnight, a game that's coming out very soon. The game looks very promising. Mojang with the Minecraft stuff. Minecraft is one of the biggest selling games of all time. Obsidian with Avowed, another Skyrim-esque game, which people love Skyrim. Skyrim is still played to this very day. But she says just Xbox just has no talent. It's like everybody's just lying to you that the Xbox has talent. Xbox is going to completely dog walk PlayStation next coming years. It's not even going to be close. It's just like people are celebrating mediocrity with PlayStation. PlayStation being so successful with their console sales, big whoop-de-doo. It is like the equivalent of going to a Taco Bell for great tacos. When it's like, why would you go to Taco Bell for tacos if you go to some authentic Mexican restaurant for Mexican food and got actual tacos there? Anybody with a brain would choose an authentic Mexican place. This is what I feel about PlayStation right now. PlayStation is popular because they sell more consoles. Random celebrities and even like OnlyFans stars talk about PlayStation, either choose me or the PS5 type of social media post like that. But PlayStation isn't that great. It's just like the casual box. It's the super casual box. And their fanboys or fangirls in this instance will praise them. I guess to ease their sense of validation for buying the console, when it's like they haven't been releasing nothing but mediocre nonsense, especially this year. No major first party game but Spider-Man 2, which if you are even a casual Spider-Man fan, most of the story elements for Spider-Man 2 came from different Spider-Man properties. And it's like, if there was really a superhero game to have competition with Spider-Man 2, would it really get that much high of a praise? If there was a Batman single player game in existence, Rocksteady is focusing on Suicide Squad nonsense, but if there was a single Batman single player game, would Spider-Man 2 even be in the media's notice? Not really, but there's no competition right now, so. And if that's acceptable, that is just terrible. You just got one big game this year. They're releasing PlayStation Portal, a handheld, you need the console to play it. Like, it's just dumb. VR, which, once again, most people don't care about VR. Their releases have been pretty sloppy on PlayStation, but because it's the market leader, people want to trash Xbox. It just makes no sense. And that's why people say the Xbox tax is real, because PlayStation has just been releasing the mediocre nonsense and they're getting praised for by the media. and just regular casuals alone. So, but this is Xbox. Look at all these games they got coming out, and you're telling me that Xbox has no talent, really? Oh man, I can't wait for the day where Xbox start hitting their stride and start releasing all these big games and just starts completely dominating PlayStation. It's gonna be back to the 360 generation once again, and I can't wait for that. I definitely can't wait for it. And we start getting the next Elder Scrolls. We start getting the next Activision big Call of Duty games on Xbox. And I didn't even mention Game Pass. Game Pass it just blows out the competition. I'm playing so many great games on Game Pass. Persona 5 Tactica, I just completed that game. That game was amazing. It's on Game Pass day one. I'm playing the Yakuza Ishin Like a Dragon. That game is fun and it's on Game Pass. Dead Space I got in the backlog. That's the next game I'll play. And that's on Game Pass. But you know, Xbox has no talent according to these people. That's like what? It's like I'm like in a parallel universe or something like that, where all like the casuals prefer PlayStation, but the real like hardcore people who recognize talent play on Xbox. It's like I just don't understand why somebody buy a PlayStation over an Xbox, to be honest. But to your strong, everybody can have their own choices, their own preferences, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. It just seems like there's like the super casual thing to do about PlayStation. So you could play a mediocre Spider-Man game where they force Mary Jane as to be more than Spider-Man themselves. So I don't know. I digress. But everybody have their own opinion. I think Xbox is 10 times better than PlayStation. I think there is an Xbox tax because Xbox can release great stuff that's not on PlayStation and it still gets criticized for not being enough. So those are my thoughts, but let's see what people have to say about this. The harder I see people try to deny the Xbox tax, the more I realize how much of a real issue it is. There's a very real bias and people are desperately trying to act like there isn't because so many people are calling it out now. That is unavoidable. Yeah. It's like Xbox has so many games that won't be on a PlayStation system, but they won't get credit. They will not get credit. It's just crazy. But PlayStation selling consoles made for people to play Call of Duty and Minecraft and FIFA, Madden gets praise in the media for them playing the most casual games possible. Not even playing the exclusives, mind you. Like, because the PlayStation exclusives don't sell as much as the people who buy PlayStations have. Like, it's not equivalent. When you compare PlayStation exclusives to Nintendo exclusives, the Nintendo fan base actually buys the exclusives. They buy their exclusives in droves, while PlayStation just focuses on third-party games mostly. When you see their attachment rate. So, but back to this. So when Bethesda and Activision Blizzard came out on an Xbox, they were better. That's another thing too. Apparently Bethesda and Activision Blizzard were just making amazing games before this acquisition, but now that they've been acquired, the games just get lowly rated. It's like big coincidence. I wonder. Thanks to prove again that there is an Xbox tax. Yeah, people are going crazy over Fallout, the Fallout series, the Skyrim franchise, but you know, once they make a space one, that one is just the worst one. Apparently, it's just laughable. People want to say there's no Xbox tax. Like, if anything, this plays the same as the rest of those games. And the game is so terrible. Why do PlayStation guys want this on their platform so badly? Why are people still complaining about Starfield not being on PlayStation if it's so bad? I'm sorry, but Psychonauts 2, Forza Horizon. Psychonauts 2, forget about that one. That is such an amazing game that's made by the Xbox Studio now. But you know, they don't want to get credit for that. If that was a Nintendo exclusive, that would be like a 90 rated game. If Psychonauts 2 was a Nintendo exclusive. But because it's Xbox related, you know, you can't get that 90 plus for that game. And I'd rather play that over any Mario game, especially over any Little Big Planet game for sure. So, let's see. Pretty spot on. Xbox is wildly inconsistent in their game options. Saying this while PlayStation has Spider-Man 2 is laughable, and they have the piggyback off Square Enix to provide support with Final Fantasy 16. It's just laughable. It's like, once again, people don't know. They don't know which side to pick. Xbox has no games, or Xbox is a monopoly. It's like, it's just weird that they go in between two so inconsistently, as you want to say. It's like a pick struggle. Either they're a monopoly with games, or they have no games. Pick one. Here it is. Sony really makes the most money and has the most say because of that in the industry. Xbox has always been too linear and too friendly. Microsoft finally saw us do this properly and are now using that massive checkbook and its power, and Sony diehards fear Microsoft power. Yeah, if I was a Sony fanboy, I would be fearing this. All of this right here is not coming on that PlayStation of yours. So you want to say they release in mid, but if I'm a gamer, I don't want to miss out on any of this stuff right here. So that's just me though. Meanwhile, PlayStation is giving you remasters a game you played before like 3 years ago with Horizon Zero Dawn remake and Last of Us Part 2 remaster. Good luck playing those same games that you played before in the past again. Doesn't make any sense to me, but you know, Xbox just don't got the talent according to some people. There's a lot of fanboys just celebrating this nonsense. It's ridiculous quote. Like that's kind of why this channel was made, because I just see so many fanboys run with the most nonsensical tweets and just opinions about Xbox. I'm like, really? You're praising PlayStation over mediocrity, over the most mediocre stuff possible, and you're only getting validated because the consoles sell really well. And it's like, it's not that great. In my opinion, it's not that great, but to each their own. This person says, possibly the best analogy for Xbox tax. Meanwhile, Sony only has one game this year. It don't look too promising for next year either, so there you go. Best explanation of Xbox tax I've seen thus far. Let me do a better analogy of this. This is like if you were a world-class singer and you perform a concert and you got like a few people show up, while Beyonce has one song that she lazily performs, and then she gets a million people in the audience. I don't know. That's kind of the equivalent. That'd probably be a better analogy. Well, let's continue. The comment section is filled with comedy and rage. No way we are comparing the Xbox tax to flat earthers. I don't know what the flat earth theory has to do with Xbox tax, but okay. Being a one-trick pony, only selling your fans the same over-the-shoulder sad dad, third-person action-adventure games, or remaking the same games over and over isn't special by any means. That is what I'm saying. Like, bro, how many sad dads we gotta see? How many sad dad template games do we have to see? It's like, it's getting ridiculous. Can we get a happy dad for once? Just saying. It's just, and remaking the constant game over and over again, and that's just fine with the industry apparently. Like, really. I'm not buying either one of those remakes or remasters from Sony. It's like it's getting tired at this point. But once again, according to people like this, Xbox has no talent, but Sony can only remake and remaster games that they made from a few years ago. Funny you use judges for your Xbox tax analogy, yet omit the type of judges of that's exactly what the reality of the situation is. Bunch of biased judges who disagreed. Xbox twist positive, some and base the shame on them. Just alright ignore the intense ills of PlayStation. Yeah, they just ignore the downsides of PlayStation. So it's like, whatever. But I'm gonna include it right here. Once again, people want to say the Xbox tax isn't a real thing. I believe it is, because once again, the media definitely doesn't cover the downsides of PlayStation. How they only had one major game this year, and nobody really talked about that. Like, that's not a negative to nobody. Or they released a handheld that's not really a handheld that you need to stream from your PS5. That's a laughable system. I mean, I can't respect the PlayStation Portal at all. Like, that's just a waste of people's time and money right there. But just my opinion. But you know, there's no Xbox tax apparently. Xbox just has no talent. Meanwhile, PlayStation fanbase is stuck with remasters and remakes and a disappointing, lackluster first-party game lineup for this year and next year. But you know, teach your own, I guess. But definitely share your thoughts down below. Leave a like this video. And as always, thanks for watching, and peace.